With the 11 groups, we'll now begin our presentation. Next. SDG 15 is protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem, sustainability, managed forest, convert desertification and health and reserve, land degradation and health biodiversity loss.
Are the question of our presentation. The first question is, are there any problems in tourist spot in Hong Kong? Yes, there are some problems in Hong Kong. Next. Firstly, there are a total of 25 country parks in Hong Kong. Next. However, most country parks are close to forests, but most of them have barbecue area. So if tourists do not properly handle the fire after barbecue or smoking, it will cause wildfires. For example, according to Hong Kong 01 in the first 3 months of 2020, there were 9 wildfires in Hong Kong and depended about 4,643. Next. Therefore, it is worried that Hong Kong is still unable to control the volcanic problem in the country past. Now pass the time to Japan student.
Question 1. Are there any problem in tourist spots in Japan? The answer is yes. In Nara Park, there are deer that die from eating plastic garbage thrown away by tourists. On November 5th, 2022, 7 kilograms of garbage was collected. Feeling. In Japan, there are often few garbage cans in tourist spots, and littering is a problem not only for tourists, but also for tourists in order to maintain tourist spots as tourist destinations. It is necessary to install garbage cans and make effort to prevent tourists from throwing away garbage.
Question 2.
Moreover, the question 2 is, are there population increase in city area resulting in the loss of forest or beach in Hong Kong? Yes. Next page, please. Due to the problem of Hong Kong large population and insufficient housing, the Hong Kong government promoted the rental to more efficient in 2018. In Canada, it is called 明日大嶼願景計劃. This plan means the Hong Kong government want to build a new island for building house. Next page, please. However, the project requires land regulation to complete. Therefore, the sea will be decreased. Also, there are many endangered animals near the new island. If the new island is built, it will affect their safety. Next. As we know that this plan is causing too much damage to the environment, so I hope it can be terminated. Now pass the time to other students.
Population increase in city area resulting in the loss of forest or beach in Japan? Answer is yes. Population increase in urban area have led to significant forest loss in Japan. For example, in Tokyo, forests surrounding the city are being increasingly cleared to make way for urban development and infrastructure projects such as railway, road, and residential area. As the city expands, natural green space continue to shrink and forests are often cut down for land use purpose. In Tokyo, this deforestation is having a serious impact on local ecosystem, affecting species such as raccoon dog and Japanese sparrows. These animals are losing their natural habitat and are being forced into nice area. This not only increase the risk of traffic accident, but also disrupt the local food chain, which could have further economical consequence. And my feeling is the destruction of both ecosystem is not just for environment problem, it's also contribute to global warming. So I hope the government will take stronger measure to protect these natural species and more people will take an interest in this issue. 3 suggestions. Yep. Japan has such forest laws. First, clean woods by encouraging consumers to choose a residence timber-related business. When purchasing wood products, it is possible to further promote the distribution and use of legally harvested timber. Second, green purchasing. The Japanese government actively encourages people to choose and purchase products that have a little impact on the environment as possible. And furthermore, there is also a conservation strategy for endangered wildlife species. This law evaluated species from two perspectives: the risk to their survival and the effectiveness of measures to combat them, and set out the priorities for species to be addressed.
And next, the SDG mentioned that by 2020, promote the implementation of sustainable management of all types of forests, halve deforestation, restore degraded forests, and substantially increase afforestation and reforestation globally. Next, let us look at the relevant situation in Hong Kong. The existing legislation on tree protection in Hong Kong includes the Antiquities and Monuments Ordinance and the Forest and Countryside Ordinance. Nevertheless, the current legal framework for tree management in Hong Kong is still far from perfect. In view of the development of SDGs, there is a general need for Hong Kong to establish a more comprehensive legal framework. Next page. For example, the existing legal framework mainly focus on the protection of trees in rural areas and parks, and there is not relevant legislation on the protection of urban trees, which is obviously not comprehensive enough. At the same time, Hong Kong has not yet established an accreditation system for arborists to ensure that they are competent enough to perform their work, and there is a room for improvement in terms of professionalism. Government will continue to adjust the scope of control under the relevant legislation in the light of change in CITES, which show that the legislation on the handling of endangered species of animal and plants in Hong Kong is generally enough. Next page. As students, we can certainly help SDGs to the best of our ability. Next page. SDGs mentioned that by 2030, combat desertification, restore degraded land and soil, including land affected by desertification, drop the bus and strive to achieve a land degradation neutral road. Next page. In Hong Kong, we can participate in tree planting programs such as TG Charity Woodland, where we can adopt a local native sapling with a donation of Hong Kong dollar around $500. After planting, TG will be responsible for taking care of the sapling until mid-2027 to increase its self-reliance. In addition, we can participate in the Green Volunteer Scheme organized by the Leisure and Cultural Service Department and contribute to the greening activities in Hong Kong. They are a good way to assist the development of SDGs in Hong Kong within our capacity. Next, hand it over to the next team member.
Let's talk about culture difference between Hong Kong and Japan. Cultural differences between Hong Kong and Japan is about arborists. Arborists are tree doctors who examine the condition of trees and provide appropriate treatment and protection. Next. Arborists in Hong Kong. There are arborists in Hong Kong, but their number is insufficient to handle all the trees in Hong Kong. It results in trees falling down whenever there is a typhoon. Arborists in Japan. There are currently 71 arborists in Japan. Of these, approximately 350 are women. There are many websites and videos about arborists. From this, it can be said that arborist is a very common occupation. Next. Why arborists are very common in Japan? There are two main reasons. First, there are many trees that are designated as natural monuments. Second, trees are sometimes positioned as symbols of reconstruction. The miracle pine tree which survived the Great East Japan earthquake is one such example. Healing. The profession of arborist is very common in Japan. I believe that cooperation between Japan and Hong Kong will help protect the land wealth of both countries. This is reference, and thank you for listening our presentation.